She heard the dish hit the table with the same ferocity as it had been flung as the door to the room opened. Her eyes welled up with tears as the door slammed behind her. She felt so unappreciated. She was 80 years old and dying of loneliness, which was becoming worse every day in her own house. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Despite having a daughter, 4 grandchildren, and a great-grandson living with her, Doña Ramona was mistreated to the point that it didn't seem like her own family. That house was empty of employees. The daughter's marriage had been happy, but everything fell apart due to her volatile nature and the man's unceasing infidelity. Don Cesar and Doña Ramona looked after their daughter and their 2 grandkids. After making the decision to hunt for Job, the young lady revealed her pregnancy a few months later. The creature's parentage was unknown to the lords, but they were happy to have him. After working for a few months, she devoted her time to raising her kids. The children and the lady were irrational and insisted that Doña Ramona feed them well. Since his daughter was the center of his attention, Don Cesar refrained from getting involved in these matters. On one occasion, nevertheless, he was forced to. Doña Ramona stated, "Daughter, I will prepare steamed fish at that moment. And who informed you that the spines appeal to us? Go forth, ma'am. Please always ask before you prepare," the girl answered. "But it tastes good," the woman said. "I'm not considering it." The daughter answered, "Give me my money so I can go buy something at the restaurant. Is your mom a housekeeper? Would you want to inquire about food taste? Your mother isn't available to help, so you may start looking for anything to do." The daughter was furious and decided to give the food to the dogs instead of eating. She then tried to hunt for Job once more and met a buddy from childhood who said he would assist her. They met virtually every day as the days went by, until the woman fell pregnant once more. Her parents had to take on a new responsibility, and they did so without questioning the woman. As a result, the family that upheld the union had become rather large. The partners had retired. Before their accident on the school bus prevented them from working, the 2 were teachers. The men used their Social Security checks, which they got each month, to cover home bills and the upkeep of their daughter and grandkids. Doña Ramona's constant advice to stay on the right course caused the eldest grandchild to feel deeply rejected, but this really disturbed the child and made her feel quite resentful of the lady. The granddaughter finally became a mother and a single person at the age of 16, which added even more shock value to the residents. In a sense, Doña Ramona was the housekeeping. They had her take care of the great-grandson all day and sometimes even into the night after he was born, especially when the grandmother and mother went out to celebrate. She was now irritated that the picture had decided to remain locked in the space. The woman was cooking, cleaning the dishes, and washing everyone's clothes in the home in the while. They always cherished the youngest and even brought joy to the home during the holidays. That pair went on to have another daughter and 3 more grandkids. They always bought the cheapest items they could find at the market for the other 3 grandchildren, saving the best gifts for the ones who lived with them. The oldest daughter had avoided them because of it. The eldest grandchild was a real character. She would go days without speaking to her grandma, out of animosity. The woman was not authorized to watch television. Everyone would get up and leave her alone if she went to sit in the living room. They would disregard her comments, and if she had an opinion on her grandchildren's behavior, they would all reprimand her and urge her to quit being nosy, since no one cared what she thought. The couple's second daughter paid them a visit one Sunday after the oldest daughter left to see her friends. She discovered the granddaughter shouting at Doña Ramona that she was worthless as she was about to enter. She was too sluggish to change the baby's clothing on time, so she rested outdoors and didn't wash the dishes in the kitchen. "My varicose veins are preloaded and my feet hurt. That's the reason I came here to take a little break," the woman stated in a fragile voice. "You're simply cunning, ma'am. She acts as though her entire life should be spent sleeping. Proceed to change the child's clothing and diaper." As soon as the visiting daughter realized how her mother was being handled by her niece, she erupted in anger. Due to the awkwardness of the situation, Don Cesar stepped in and, to the astonishment of everybody, begged his daughter not to get involved, as she wasn't the one who lived with them. His daughter was very affected by the remarks, giving them the money she was carrying and other items she had purchased for them before withdrawing and letting her tears dampen her eyes. The woman simply needed to get up to change the infant and clean the stack of dishes. But the granddaughter felt victorious. She nearly collapsed and dropped the dishes in astonishment after finishing the dishwashing because of the severe pain in her leg. Lady without use, you're not even competent for that, so figure out how to clean up there before going to get some dishes. This is the result of being lazy. I am tired of being so useless reluctantly, the granddaughter remarked. I apologize, daughter. I'll be picking this up. To get new dishes, I'll head to the market. When the young woman did not respond, the mother changed the dishes and purchased meats to feed them with the money her other daughter had brought her. As the days went by, things became worse, and when Don Cesar died, things got really terrible. Donna Ramona was left as the only source of support for that institution, yet they still mistreated her terribly without even considering the fact that she was a widow. Despite the fact that things had become worse, the granddaughter remained silent. The woman welcomed her and didn't even respond, yet they spoke to her quite affectionately when she wanted to beg for money to go to a party, when she had to go get that pension money as a retired teacher and the widow of that teacher. It was the one day the daughter held her hand and looked after her. The granddaughter and the daughter did not treat her the same way that day. They enjoyed feeding her and dressing her as well. As the woman grew older and continued to cause them problems, they confined her in her room and made her stop doing the tasks. To maintain their life of luxury, they hired someone to take care of them. In her own house, Doña Ramona had a sense of alienation. Reluctantly, they fed her every day when the pain prevented her from getting up. She occasionally had to fight to go outside and check the pantry to see if there was anything inside, since they occasionally forgot to feed her. While the other 3 grandkids showed Mom a bit more attention, other times they were more patronizing. But in a few of days, she made it clear to them that she intended to vanish, since she could no longer stand to be disregarded and to be without a cent each month to purchase a piece of candy. She experienced a burning sensation in her stomach one night, as though there were hot coals within. She requested a glass of milk from her daughter over the phone. "I apologize, Mom. I'm saving milk for my kids. It's for their own benefit. However, since your body isn't absorbing the nutrients, you don't, so rest easy," the woman stated. The agony kept the woman from sleeping. Moreover, she aimlessly roamed the home prior to daylight. She passed out from the extreme agony, and when a cab driver noticed her passing out, he drove her to the closest hospital. After stabilizing her, the physician conducted a battery of tests that verified the woman's malnourishment and the source of her discomfort, gastritis. When they inquired whether she wanted her family to know, she said that since her husband had passed away, she had no one left in the world. Still, her daughter was searching for her, so they saw her picture on TV. The woman wanted to be called to her oldest daughter since she could not be persuaded by human power to go back to that residence. After that day, the lady's comfort stopped, and the youngest daughter and her kids started to feel bad for treating her badly. To pay their bills, the 2 ladies had to hunt for a job. That's when their indolence ended. Once they realized how inappropriate their behavior had been, they begged the woman's pardon. But she had found companionship, understanding, and care in that mansion, and she never wanted to go back. She had never experienced peace in her life till she was over 83 years old. She really regretted severing her relationship with her eldest daughter and ignoring her grandkids, who truly loved her for herself and not for what she could provide for them. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.